Well, we're back at the lodge. First time for me to film in about 3 weeks. I've got a couple of appointments here today. Get everything opened up. Nice and dark. Looks like the power's been off. You can see the flashing of the clock on the stove. Nice still morning. Fence is down. Something is running through the fence, it looks like. Unlock the screen doors. And we'll get the pump turned on, see if it works. It was a little stubborn the last time and hummed for about 2-3 seconds before it finally took off. Water pressure's about 35. Open up the bathroom. Flush the toilet, run the sink, bring the pressure down some, maybe turn on the hose, get the pump running. That's the main reason we're here today. I've got a septic service coming in, and they're going to pump the tank and also the outhouse. When I built the outhouse back in 1979, when I dug the hole and I put a concrete bottom on it and lined it with well tile, that way I'm able to we're able to pump it every year. More of a holding tank underneath. Do it one more time, get the pressure down some more. I need to adjust that. Good, came right on. I've also got a tree service coming today. This tree that's in the middle of the driveway, we've been trying to save it. It had a bunch of leaves this spring, but half of them have already died and the other half are dying, and it's too close to the bathrooms. And it's just probably about 25 feet from the lodge, and we don't want to take a chance on a limb breaking off while everybody's here or it falling down. It's actually leaning a little bit towards that direction. That's where power comes in. Should be an easy enough job just to drop it straight out that way on the driveway. So I've got a tree service coming today that's going to give me an estimate on how much to cut it down. And I brought another miniature daylily. We've had pretty good luck with the daylilies, but there's one down here that I don't think it's a daylily anymore. We have these ferns or something that are taking over, or trying to take over. There's some buds on this one. There's buds on this one, buds on that one, but nothing on this one. So that's getting dug up. That's nothing but a grass, I believe. And we get it replaced this morning. Oh wow, it looks like those are new buds for the Asiatic. Looks like it. New buds on these Asiatic lilies. Be nice. These have already bloomed, and now it looks like the blooms have already died off. The lake is down. It's actually fairly dry all the way to the back of the limestone that I've set there. So that's good. You can actually see dry land. Well, not dry, but no water up this far on the pier deck. You can see all the concrete that I've put down there to try to stop the erosion. That's a sycamore branch, so I don't know where that came from. Maybe while I'm here, since this has been knocked down, I will mow down into the ditch. I don't have a lot planned for today, but I could do that. See if the geese have been over here since that was knocked down. Yep, there's a little bit of goose poop. We'll definitely get that back up this morning before we leave. And once we get started, nice sunrise, by the way. But once we get started, I'll turn you back on. Okay, I've already talked to the septic system people twice. Goose poop, goose poop, goose poop, goose poop. So I'm going to get a couple of jobs done. First, I'm going to dig up these weeds and replace them with those lilies. loosen them up a little bit. Get some dirt from back here and put around it. I've been cleaning up an old wood pile, and that wood has made nice mulch into the clay, and we're getting halfway decent dirt. So that's what I'm going to use to put around this. Got a lot of clay in it. Tell by how it clumps up. Oversaturate it. Set you up in a minute. We'll mow that grass in the ditch. Something knocked down this side fence. That's why we've got some goose poop. So I'm going to take the fence up a little bit so I can get under it and mow these weeds. Now the water's down a little bit. See if I can get the weed eater to work. You basically have to prime it. We're on full choke. Crunch the throttle. As it starts, you got to take the choke back about a quarter right off the bat. Yes, it needs to be adjusted. Well, I didn't do too much, just enough to get myself sweating in this humidity. I'll show you what I accomplished. I got the weeds. I used the weed eater up there front where I couldn't get the mower. The mower's gotten the rest of this ditch. I need to put the fence back up before I leave. I also cut the weeds in that corner where the retiree mows. I noticed the weed killer I put together, and when we were here on Saturday and mowed, I sprayed around the yard barn and the dead tree, and just in 4 days you can see how it's killed all these weeds. I sprayed up here in the corner, it's killed them. The retiree sprayed this part of the driveway before she got too tired, and I wanted to leave because of my foot. And you can see around the tree, it's killing all of them. This is the first day I've been here in the last 5 weeks. Well, first 3 weeks we were dealing with an emergency with the retiree's mom, and then in the last 2 weeks I've been dealing with gout in my foot. I can hardly move. I've got a couple extra stakes in the tent. Fix the fencing. Got the stakes, I got my hammer, and I got the stapler. And I've got a lot of heat and humidity, so we're going to take our time, do it slow. staples are stubborn. I need a screwdriver with straight edge to pry them off. Got that finished. Now that I've cut the weeds, I'm a little worried about this corner. Hopefully they're afraid to come into too tight an area. We shall see. There's also a little gap down here, but I don't foresee them trying to single file through there, because then they get it's a good way to get trapped. I think probably a dog chased a deer across here, or the dog was after a raccoon or something and ran into the fence without knowing it at night and knocked it down. So hopefully this holds till the reunion. so we can keep the goose poop off the front lawn. Well, I thought we had a problem with the hot water heater, because when I came in, I turned it on, started running the sink, and the hot water heater would not come on. But I've taken the head of the sprayer off, and now with that off, it's got plenty of water pressure, and the hot water heater works. The trouble is, it's so stopped up that not enough water pressure is getting through it. So I got it sitting in some CLR. It helped it. I did a little bit, but now I'm going to let it sit for about a half hour. But at least it's not the hot water heater. You can see that it's working. Back here, I planted wildflowers back here, and there are a few wildflowers coming up. Not as many as I'd hope for a half a pound of wildflower seeds, but there are a few coming up, along with the regular weeds. But basically what I do is, in the spring I mow everything down, and then we leave the back part, because our neighbor Dave, he really helps out, and so he mows this side of the road down to where the low spot is, and then leaves the high spot. And I'm trying to grow wildflowers. You can see down in here, there's some few that have come up, some more that have come up, there's some more back here, some more wildflowers starting to come up. I don't know what some of these other tall ones are. Hopefully they are wildflowers too, but I got the feeling they're more than they're just weeds. In the fall I'll come back out here and remow this once the flowers are all gone, and take it back to the tree line just to try to make it a little bit nicer. So those logs will be in my way, so they have to be thrown to the other side. I may ask during the reunion for some of the young guys to throw those back there for me. But I'm going to adjust the water system now. I think that may be part of my problems with the hot water heater. And then I've decided I am not going to work on the cleaning up the utility room. It's just too warm, and I need to get out of here. And this is the first good day in 2 weeks with my foot, and I don't want to push it. So I've gotten more jobs done than I expected. The tree service called, and they can't come out today to look. So I told them just to give me a call when they could come out, and I'll just run down here and meet them down here. So I need to work on the water system, but first I think I'll put up the lawnmower and shut the shed and be prepared to leave. Well, turns off right at 50 pounds now, and it should be adjusted to turn back on at 30. It's gotten a little low, so I came out here and adjusted, and I'll show you what I did. Oh, it's done. Now hopefully it turns back on at 30 instead of 26 or 25. Yep. I'll turn the water back off, and once the pump turns off and we can hear, I'll explain how that's done. The tree service called. They can't make it out today, so I told them for them to set up a time, and I'll just Make sure I'm down here. There you go, right at 50. So, the center screw right here, that basically adjusts both pressures. If I go clockwise, it increases the pressure. What I wanted to do was get the low pressure up. So I turned it clockwise until we got about 30 pounds low pressure turn on, but it caused the high pressure to turn off about 54. So then the second screw right here, and I turned off the switch every time I adjusted, just to let you know. But the second screw here, I turned counterclockwise, and that lowers the upper turn on. So what I did is I got my lower pressure set for 30 using the combination nut, and it takes about 1 turn for 2 pounds of pressure. And then this one is much more sensitive, so I just turned it maybe 1/4 of a turn, and it brought the high pressure back down to 50. So now we're basically at 50 pounds high. It turns on at 50, turns off, or I should say turns on at 30, turns off at 50. That's good. When I was here on Saturday, I replaced the filter, and I put some bleach in the filter, and you can see the filter's still nice and white, so hopefully that works for a while. A lot of you heard running. It's coming from the sink. I've just been letting that water run. I had to put the nozzle into some CLR to try to clean it out. You can see that it's flowing much better. Before, the hot water would not turn on. So I'm going to turn this off, turn the hot water pressure or the hot water switch on. That will come on momentarily. It tells you what to set at, then goes off. So now I'll turn the water on. And of course, it didn't work. Trouble is, there's so much buildup in the nozzle that the water heater is not detecting the water flow. So hopefully once the pump turns back on and the pressure goes up, let's see if we can get the hot water to run. There it goes. Yep, the pump, I can hear the pump. So once the pressure comes back up, then the hot water turned on. So now it should stay on continuously as long as I've got the hot water on at the valve. We'll just sit here and wait and see. I'll tell you when the pump goes off. Water's starting to turn warm. Okay, the pump is turned off. So hopefully the hot water stays on for the entire cycle before it turns back on again. I think I need to get a simpler nozzle for this faucet. This thing, the aerator just gets too stopped up with the mineral buildup from the water. So, but at least the hot water is working. I was afraid that something had clogged it up, but oh, it's getting nice and warm now. I can't hold my hand under it. So we'll wait until I hear the pump turn back on. momentarily turned off. So right there where the pump kicks on, so it's got to have 30 pounds of pressure or more. There, it did it again. So it must be getting, I haven't heard it turn back on yet, so when it gets down around 30 pounds, it's having a hard time turning on. There's still good pressure coming through here. Now it's back on. And the pump is on. Still good pressure coming through there. And the pump is on. So adjusting the turn on pressure back up to 30 helps with the water heater, but the mineral buildup in these pipes is just terrible. I think I'm going to try to see if I can't find another small filter, water filter that I can put in the line coming in here, so I can double up on the filtering for the water coming into the sink. But turn this off. That should turn the water heater off. Yes, it's gone off. I've decided that since the tree service is not coming, I'm going to close up and head home early. My foot is feeling really good, and I don't want to. This is the first day I can walk without a limp, and I don't want to push my luck. So until the next time, everyone take care.